Happy you could come along. We are joined as always by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a food and wine sommelier of the year. The group includes Columbia Firehouse and Vermilion in Old Town, also Evening Star Cafe and Planet Wine in the Del Rey neighborhood. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What do we have on tap this week?
So we have Stone just released their 18th anniversary IPA. So I figured you'd be okay with.
It's not fair. My
that.
wife is on business in San Diego as we speak.
Oh, really?
I should have gone.
The fresh stuff. So this is their, believe it or not, they're 18 years old in August of 2014. So they released this amazing IPA. Take a look at the color here. We have, they're calling it a golden brown IPA, which is interesting because it's basically a typical 8.5% golden IPA, but they're using some English brown coffee malt to give it some deeper, darker hues and a hint of cocoa and coffee and toffee on the palate. It's a telltale sign. We actually use these hops. That Blue Jacket, it's exclusively dry hops with a hop called El Dorado, which is from the Pacific Northwest, a relatively new hop that's known for giving you like lemon candy notes, some strawberry typically, and then a lot of like Earl Grey tea-like qualities, and you get that tea for certain in the nose. And then the brownish coffee malt. I think they were really inspired. You know, it's funny, people are using coffee for all sorts of different things today in beer, and Stone kind of famously came out last year with a, in 2013 with a coffee IPA that was delicious. So I think with this one, they were like, what if we go for a kind of coffee IPA, but by virtue of using some darker malts and give it kind of a roasted coffee malt character rather than just a straight up coffee character, and I think that's what they've done here.
Yeah, I usually wrinkle up my nose at coffee beer if it's overdone, and this is, I mean, you might be hard pressed to even taste it if someone hadn't told you ahead of time that it was in there.
Yeah, and there's no coffee itself, which is cool, but yeah, but like, even like the flavor of the coffee roast.
It's light.
It's light, it's refreshing, it's got the typical like Stone balance, not too bitter, really aromatic, pretty tasty beer for sure.
Each year, or at least for the past few years, I know they've done an anniversary beer. Do they take a certain type of inspiration or just try to do something different each year?
It's something different each year for sure, and typically based off of IPAs, which makes sense because Stone is masterful at doing that. So this is a cool one for them, but a departure too. I mean, they could have just made, you know, another incredible like standard Imperial IPA like Rune 10 or something like that, but they give us something a little bit different here, which is delicious.
It's not overly bitter or overly hoppy, so what would you pair it with?
You're right. I mean, it has a little bit more character. What I'm thinking, though, is I want to play up the mild kind of coffee roasted qualities that we have here in the toffee and the malt character, like you said. So I always love to do IPAs with richer meat dishes, and I think this is a great example for that. So you can do it with, you know, any kind of burger, steak on the grill. Lamb would work really nicely, but then also I think because it doesn't have quite that bitterness, and again to play up the roast, I was thinking today about like blackened fish of any kind. You know, you get some trout, like blacken it on the grill, maybe even like snapper and do like blackened fish tacos. I think that blackened note would go nicely with the roast, and then the hop character, that kind of lemony quality would liven up the fish as well.
Now we are in September. It's going to be a busy month for you guys because I think the Nationals, I don't want to jinx them, are going to keep doing well. At the very least, they should be in the hunt by the end of the season.
Yeah. It's going to be, and plus, of course, we have Snallygaster next Saturday, so that's going to be a big one.
The new location, were you looking for a bigger spot for Snallygaster?
Yeah.
I mean, last year was great, and we were there early, and there were a ton of people there, but I never felt like you couldn't move around.
It got a little bit tight, yeah, so we moved it back. We love being by Blue Jacket and Navy Yard anyways. Unfortunately, the development of this area has precluded us from using the original space we did in the first year 2 years ago, but we're back down here, which we love, and we're right by the baseball stadium again, so we're really excited. The proximity to Blue Jacket is huge for, I mean, if nothing else, beer storage and things like that, so it should be great.
And please do take Metro because it's very convenient to take Metro down.
Totally,
to
2 blocks away.
Like 2 blocks away,
it's great.
so it's
Navy Yard stop. Yep.
Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.